In this tutorial, we will be focusing on the second objective, which is to explain how alkanes are named. And we will start with naming straight chains of alkanes. These are the first 8 alkanes, and to name alkanes, we will use the root, which tells us the number of carbon atoms, and then we will add the suffix ane to the root, and this suffix means that all the bonds are single, so we have an alkane. So this is methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, and octane. If we take heptane for example, hept means that we have 7 carbon atoms, and ane means that this is an alkane, so all the bonds are single. Let's move now to naming branched chains of alkanes. You have to follow simple steps to be able to name correctly a branched chain of alkane. First of all, find the longest unbranched chain, which can sometimes be a bit tricky. Then you will have to give the root name and then the name of the branch or sided chain as prefixes. So for example, we have methyl, ethyl, propyl, and so on. And finally, you will have to add numbers or locants to indicate which carbon atoms the sided chains are attached to. Let's take an example. We will start with the first one. So first of all, we have to find the longest unbranched chain. So imagine that you are moving with your finger across the chain. So to find the longest unbranched chain, you will not have to remove your finger from the paper. So let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have 5 carbon atoms in a continuous chain, whereas this carbon atom over here is not included in this chain. If we count it in this way, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 4 carbon atoms, and thus this one over here is the longest chain. So we have 5 carbon atoms in the longest unbranched chain. So the root name will be pentane because we have 5 carbon atoms and it is an alkane. Then we have to find the branch, which is this one, and we will add the name then as a prefix. So because we have 1 carbon atom in the sided chain, it will be called methyl. So methyl pentane. Let's find now the locant. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if we count it in the opposite direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we will also obtain the number 3. So we will write 3-methyl pentane. Let's examine this one. So we have to find now the longest chain. Let's start counting in this direction. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's try other options. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have to pay attention while counting the number of carbon atoms in the longest unbranched chain. If we count it in this direction, 1, 2, 3, and 4, so we have 4 carbon atoms. So we have to choose the longest one to be the main chain, and thus we have 5 carbon atoms, so we have pentane. And this is the side branch, which is methyl. Let's find the locant. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So again, we have the same locant, which is a 3. So this is a 3-methyl pentane. So please pay attention when identifying the longest unbranched chain. The skeletal formulae for 3-methyl pentane is as follows. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the main chain contains 5 carbon atoms. And this line over here means that we have a branch on the third carbon atom, which is 1 carbon atom only.